that this acknowledgement is just a small part of it, that we also feel like supporting um, the continued struggle of the indigenous people for their self-determination and reclamation of their land and sacred sites is super important. So there's different ways that that support can happen. And Julie will put some links on. Um, but just to name a few, supporting indigenous organizations by donating your time and or your money is one way. Supporting indigenous grassroots change movements and campaigns, and also encouraging other people to do so. And then, committing to returning land um, locally, state, and federally around the world is also part of this land acknowledgement. So thank you. The other thing that I want to do is honor both our elder community. I am part of that elder community. Annalise, if you're anywhere here, I finally said it. I'm part of the elder community here at East Bay Thrive. So I want to, I want all the elders in the Zoom room to actually unmute themselves and say present or presente here so that we could hear your voices. And I will say presente. And just everybody.
Presente.
Great. Thank you so much. And actually, that felt better than I thought it was going to feel. The other thing is that I want to actually acknowledge the young people in the room, not just in the room, but in our community. So Raya, Raya, you're super important to us, and they're the future. And just to present that we do acknowledge and revere our elders that have carried us to this moment, and then if they acknowledge and revere the young people that are going to move us forward as we move forward to a better, greater world than what we're currently living in right now. So thank you, everybody, for your patience while I did the acknowledgement. And now I want to briefly introduce Kaylee Hines. And she's a member of the Thrive Choir and a PhD candidate in geography at UC Berkeley. And she's gonna actually bring us in with song. So Kaylee.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Kylie. And yeah, it's my privilege to be part of the Thrive community and the Thrive Choir specifically. And I'm going to share a song called Bright Morning Stars by Rising Appalachia. In particular, I think this song has been calling to a lot of members of the choir recently. We had the opportunity to sing, record a video for Bioneers about a couple weeks ago, separate and in a garden with masks on, all safe. But it was our first real opportunity to reconnect a small group of us in song. And we sang this one just to reconnect, and it was just a beautiful opportunity to feel the winter sun on our skins and to feel our voices connecting. So I hope that this is an opportunity for you to feel a sense of connection in this season in particular. So some of you may know it. The tune is pretty simple. Please feel free to join in if and when you feel called to. So I'll begin. Bright morning stars are rising. Bright morning stars are rising. rising, bright morning stars are rising. Day is a breaking in my soul. Oh, where are our dear mothers? Oh, where are our dear mothers? They're down in the valley singing. Day is a breaking in my soul. Oh, where are our dear fathers? Oh, where are our dear fathers? They've gone up to heaven, shouting. Day is a breaking in my soul. Bright morning stars are rising. Bright morning stars are rising. Bright morning stars are rising. Day is a breaking in my soul. Thank you.
Well, let's just take a breath on that. Beautiful energy. Just breathe it in intentionally, because that's a prayer right there. Thank you so much, Kylie. Y'all are in for a treat. This is a Healing Thrive Sunday, and you just witnessed it. And boy, do we have more coming for you with Sister Brenda Salgado and Sister Melanie DeMore and Kylie, as you heard, and Brother Kele and Sister Bethsaida and me. Wow. And y'all, oh my God, we're in heaven. So welcome to Thrive East Bay. For those who are new to us and those who are coming back, we welcome all. Thrive is a community that brings together people at all intersections of meaning and belonging and the arts and social change, which I know we're all into and up for. We're building a beloved community, and we're guided by 4 principles that are as follows. Thriving lives. Oh my goodness, don't we all want to thrive, especially during these times? And some love and action, put that in the ingredient in the mixing bowl. We all need love and action, and we're all, I'm sure, giving love and action. That's why we're all here together today in community. And Thrive is all about shared learning and practice, which in this world and time, we need to up-level into the world that works for everyone. So let's do it together as community, along with systemic change. And that's what we're up for, not only today, in the Thrive community and in the communities that you come from. So we are excited to bring to you our event today, Love Wins, a time to heal, a time to build. I mentioned who our guests are, and oh my goodness, I'm so excited. And my gosh, I didn't mention our beloved Julie Sadowski is our tech support today. So that sweetens the pot even more. Thank you, Julie, for being on tap with us. So you all know the Zoom etiquette by now. If you're not speaking, please, and we're going to give time to our speakers and our performers, and so please keep yourselves on mute. If you want to use the chat as we go along for something poignant, by all means do. I know you already have. And just stay tuned for the more that's about to come. Oh, there was a pun in there, Bethsaida. Did you hear me say the more that's about to come? I'm bouncing it to you to introduce Melanie. You're on mute.
Can you hear me now? Okay. I was just saying that we're actually practicing to go on a comedy tour pretty soon, me and Sunshine Michelle. So it is like a super honor to introduce our guest artist tonight, Melanie DeMore. I have been just like touched very deeply by your presence and your music, and especially the gullah stick pounding practice and rituals that you have been a part of historically teaching and sharing with the world. It's been a profound experience for me. So Melanie DeMore is a vocal activist, is one of the most outstanding vocal artists of today, helping to preserve the African American folk tradition through song and the gullah stick pounding. She was the subject of a documentary called Stick and Pound, which showcases this tradition, which is amazing. Y'all have to watch it. She has a career spanning 30 years dedicated to teaching, lecturing, mentoring, conducting, directing, and inspiring children and adults about the power of song as social and political change. Melanie DeMore is a singer, songwriter, composer, conductor, and vocal activist who believes in the power of voices raised together. She says, "A song can hold you up when there seems to be no ground beneath you." She has a longer bio that we will actually share with y'all as we put it on the site. So welcome, Melanie, and yeah, looking forward to your song
Hello,
and
family.
prayer.
First of all, may I just say that you look spectacular. We are all here. We are all breathing. And that is the only qualification that you need to have in order to be for us to be together. You just have to be breathing. That's pretty much it. And for us, and as we are the people, we walk around with our hearts open. It's really important for us to realize that everybody has a seat at the table, and that is the only qualification that you be breathing. That's it. Our job is to make sure there's a spot for everybody. Their job is to sit their behinds down in the chair. That's it. No qualifications. Can we make sure that everybody's muted too? Okay, great. So I have just a little bit of time with you, but if I could, I'm doing this to all of you. You Shayna Punham, look at you. I'm so glad to be here with all of you. And I want to start with this. I'm kind of feeling in a little bit of a prayerful mood these days. And sometimes just the conscious act of breathing in and breathing out is a prayer in itself. So I want to give this to you. Everything that we've been dealing with, family, has been about the breath. Right? I can't breathe. We can't breathe on each other. We're all walking around holding our breaths. We're so jammed up and jelly tight. Everything is about that. Our earth is struggling to breathe. So it's all about that. So I'm going to sing this one for you, and then you can join in. And I've added a little bit of body percussion because that's just how I roll. And it's because the whole thing, what you're doing here, it goes together, left, right, left. And don't hurt yourself. Together, left, right, left. And if all you can do is this, that works too. Together, left, right, left. So what we're doing is we're giving our lungs a little rhythmic massage. A little rhythmic massage. And if you feel so inclined, you may rock. It's a nice little 3 feel. Yes. And don't hit too hard. Press those lungs, a little rhythmic massage. And it goes like this. Blessings whenever you breathe. Blessings whenever you breathe. Blessings whenever you breathe. Blessings all around. The words are easy. Blessings whenever you breathe. Blessings all around. So that if you think about every intake as a blessing, every outtake as a blessing, well, baby, you just filled with blessings. That's all there is to it. No matter what you think. No matter. Here we go. Here we go. And blessings whenever you breathe. Blessings whenever you breathe. Blessings whenever you breathe. Blessings all around. Now this next part I'm going to sing to you, and then we're going to sing it to ourselves. So I'll sing this to you. Bless your hearts, your tender, tender hearts. Bless your hearts. Blessings whenever you breathe. Now sing it to yourself, and I mean love yourself up and go. Bless my heart, my tender, tender heart. Bless my heart. Blessings whenever I breathe. 3 more times. Blessings. Blessings whenever I breathe. 2 more times. Blessings whenever I breathe. Last time, make it last. Blessings whenever I breathe. Blessings whenever you breathe. That you're covered all the time. That's the thing, is you're covered all the time. Nod your head. Nod it. And it's okay if you go, all the time. All the time. If there's somebody in the room, look at them and go, yeah, all the time. All the time. Blessings all the time. Thank you. Look at you. You are making me smile out the back of my head. That means that when the tips reach in the back because you're smiling so big. This has been my thought for today. You can choose a lot of things. Today, I choose joy. You can decide every day, what am I choosing today? Who am I going to hold up in song? Who do I know that needs to be held up in song? And please include yourself. Now, I did hear there was a mention of stick pounding. So the next one we're going to do, I've got just a couple of things to do with you, but this next one, what we're going to do, this is a song that you know, but we're going to add a little bit of Gullah spice into it. All right? Let me get my sticks. Why, here they are. And all that behind me, you see that? Those are all pounding sticks from one particular chorus, and I believe it is the San Francisco ABCDEFGHIJKLM choir. Everybody's in that choir, and that is their sticks. They're fabulous. So, you all know this, but when you, and maybe one day I can do a stick pounding thing with Thrive, just saying. All right, so you all know this song. And the songs that I'm going to be doing, this one and then the last one I'll do with you, all has to do with light. All has to do with light. This one you know. So if you need to stand up and get your groove on, by all means do it. Whatever makes you feel in your biggest self, do that. So here we go. Here's how the song goes. You'll know this. This little light of mine, come on, don't even sit down. I'm gonna let it shine. You know that this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. So now you got the feeling, and when you add the sticks, it goes like this. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. You know that this little light, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Now in the Gullah tradition, and the Gullah folks they live on these incredible islands around Georgia and South Carolina and Florida. And this rhythm is a conduit to freedom. And the people would pound this rhythm or hand clap this rhythm. And when the spirits start to feel real good, it would start to speed up. Everywhere I go, you know I'm gonna let it shine. You know that everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. And the people would know as the Spirit lifted them, as the rhythm got faster, that they were in their biggest, strongest, most beautiful self. And they knew that inside, no matter what was happening outside, that they were free. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. You know that all around, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. You know that this little light, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Come on. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I say this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. You know that this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And I just want to let you know that I live on the first floor, so none of my neighbors are losing their minds. Thank you for going there with me. I look forward to the time when we can, each of us, have a stake and pound. I call it pounding for peace, babies. And I want to do this next one for you, and you can just allow it to come on inside of you. You know, a few weeks ago here in the Bay Area, we had that weird day when the sky was just a shade lighter than me. Noon, the street lights came on. And people were so disoriented. And I went out for my daily walk, and I saw people were just sort of in a daze. We're wearing masks, and they're looking at the sky, and you can feel that their feet were not touching the ground, and that they felt so disconnected from everything around them. And I thought to myself as I was walking, I thought, there is what we see, and there is what we know. And even though on that day we could not see the sun, I knew it was there. And in the times that we're living in, family, it is really important that we remember what we know. Because there's so much stuff that is assaulting our senses and our heart and our spirits. And we have to remember what we know. And so here's what came to me on that day. I know there is sun. I know there is sun. I know there are stars in the sky. I know there is sun. I know there is sun. I know there are stars in the sky. It's not what we see, it's what we know. It's not what we see, it's what we know. And I know there is sun. I know there is sun. I know there are stars in the sky. It's not what we see, it's what we know. It's not what we see, it's what we know. And I know there is sun. I know there is sun. I know there are stars in the sky. Always go back to here. And even when we can't see it, we know that even in those places where it seemed like love could not possibly thrive in that we know that it's there. Nod your head. Nod it. You always got to go back to here. Always go back to here. I don't know, do I have time for one more thing?
You have 3 more minutes. We're going to milk it.
3 more minutes. Excellent. Then let's do this one. This is one of my favorite spirituals of all time. And this is one that everybody, don't matter what condition your condition is in, don't matter what you call spirit, don't matter whatever. This song is another song of light. And it's all about, because we did this little blessings whenever you breathe, this little light of mine. I know there is sun and there is this one. Throw your head back. I want harmony. And it goes like this. Shine on me. Come on. Oh, shine on me. Let the light from the lighthouse shine on me. Oh, shine on me. Yes, shine on me. Let the light from the lighthouse shine on me. Oh, lift me up. Yes, lift me up. Let the light from the lighthouse lift me up. Oh, lift me up. Yes, lift me up. Let the light from the lighthouse lift me up. Hold me close. Oh, hold me close. Let the light from the lighthouse hold me close. Hold me close. Oh, hold me close. Let the light from the lighthouse hold me close. Shine on me. Oh, shine on me. Let the light from the lighthouse shine on me. Oh, shine on me. Yes, shine on me. Let the light from the lighthouse shine on me. All you have to do, family, is ask. Thank you for letting me be with you today.
How absolutely sweet is that? I'm going to ask folks to come off mute and give Melanie your love. Hoop and holla.
Thank you so much, Melanie.
Thank you so much for your love and your spirit. Thank you.
Beautiful.
For your joy.
Yes, thank you, Melanie. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Anytime, darlings. Thank you.
Thank you ever so. Beautiful.
And thank you, everybody. And if you'll mute yourselves back. And Melanie, thank you so much for that, darling. I'm just hugging you and loving you. And be sure and look at the chat because folks were sending you love. And thank you for sending us love. We so appreciate you and your presence. Listen, y'all, you better breathe because we got some more coming for you. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful day is today. And I have the distinct honor and pleasure to introduce Sister Brenda Salgado right here on Ohlone territory here in the Bay Area. And she is, I call her a preeminent medicine woman. And she's founder of Nepantla Consulting. And she's currently creating her own healing center for renewal, which just makes so much sense in the world. She's the founder of a Moon's Rising Circle that has been going on for quite some time. And she currently serves on the advisory board of the Charis Foundation of New Monasticism and Interspirituality. She's the former director of the East Bay Meditation Center. She has deep years of experience in leadership development, nonprofit management, spiritual teaching, movement building, women's health, and environmental and social justice. She's certainly beloved community here at Thrive and has brought some really wonderful energetic here this year in our medicine for these times. She's released her first book in 2016, Real World Mindfulness for Beginners, Navigation, Daily Life, One Practice at a Time, which I'm pleased I was able to cite in my dissertation. I was going to get it in there somewhere. She's so powerful. She's trained in the Toltec way by the Toltec elders in traditional medicine, and she draws on healing powers of the natural world to guide her work as a spiritual leader. And she's a preeminent storyteller, and that's what she's going to bring to us today. Her wisdom, her brilliance, her presence. And I just invite you to soak it in. So without further ado, let's give some deep bows to Sister Brenda Salgado.
Hello, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear. All right, great. What an honor to be with you today. And what an honor to share in that medicine from Kylie, from Melanie, and we have more medicine yet to come. So I'm so deeply grateful for this opportunity to be here with you. And so I'll be sharing a little bit, have a little bit of a talk, but then also want to move into ritual together and ceremony together. You were invited to, as part of this, to bring the 4 elements in some way to be with you. And if you were able to do that, that's great. And if you weren't able to do that, that's totally okay too, because we can have relationship with the elements in our hearts. Even if we don't have the physical matter with us, that doesn't mean we don't have the relationship. So I'm going to be sharing a few slides just to start. And then we'll get into the ritual later. And I do want to thank, this has been an intense week for me. And so being here with you all today really is a gift to me right now. I hope that you all can see that okay. Love wins, a time to heal, a time to build. I feel really blessed that Melanie preceded me because there's so much about the music that Melanie shared that is relevant to what I'm going to be saying today. So it's all in flow, it's all in gift. And I want to start by honoring just some of the people. I mentioned that this was a tough week for me. I do see clients for healing remotely and in person, and someone I saw in person, socially distanced mass yard, that they and their partner had been diagnosed with COVID, and then I went into shelter in place quarantine, got tested, and then in the middle of that, just a lot of loss with people close to me. 3 memorials this week, 3 days in a row. And so my heart was really grieving and tender this week. And I also want to hold up Joshua, who all know in the Thrive community, because I saw a post from him earlier today that he lost his grandpa and last remaining grandparent, and his heart is very tender today too. So there's just a lot of tenderness in my heart and a lot of inability to go to be with those that I love that were suffering as I normally would because of the self-quarantine. And so it's a mixture of a lot of different kinds of grief. And I want to lift up my family and Moon's Rising Circle, Women's Circle I'm part of, that really held me this week so that I could take care of myself and love myself and be present for you today. So I'm just naming all the beautiful beings. And what we'll be talking a little bit is about understanding our place in the cosmos. I want to share a little bit. Some of you may know Lila June Johnston. And I want to share a little bit about something she posted earlier this week on Facebook. And I'll share the link in the chat as well. But just so much of what she shared in that post made my heart so happy this week. She talked a lot about how her people pay attention to the movement of the stars, the sun, the moon, to be in relationship with time. Time is not seen as dead, but is alive. And then she also spoke about Lakota concept of space and time, in which each of the four directions are not simply just a physical place, but are homes of living beings who have specific roles in the guardianship of creation, and relationship to us. And they're benevolent beings who care about us. And many ways our language, our English, is very limited because it nounifies or reduces it to a phenomenon, a place awaiting our conquest, as opposed to something we're in relationship with and supported by. And so it's a place to be prayed to, called upon. Same with the other directions, the north, the east, the south. So in every direction, we're surrounded by beautiful medicine beings that are holding us, taking care of us. And so in our talk tonight, we're going to be talking a lot about just our relationship to the four elements, not just as a physical being, but it's something that has the power to support us on our path. So very grateful, and I'll share in the chat a little bit later the link to the longer thing that Lila posted, but it's very definitely a part of what I want to share tonight. And so kind of going back to these slides that I was with, I want to share a little bit about kind of the context I'm in right now, and that is really, I'm really grateful to all my teachers. I want to really name the Purepecha elders that have been my teachers from Michoacan as very powerful beings that have supported me on my path. Teacher from Xochimilco as well, and then particularly what I'm going to be sharing tonight is coming from Sergio Magaño, who's a Toltec teacher that I'm very grateful to be in relationship with. And he talks a lot about the shift in the calendar that we're in. And some of you who have heard me talk before know that this is a big focus of mine right now. In our understanding of the Toltec calendar, we're ending a 6,625-year period that's called the time of the fifth sun. And in May of 2021, we're beginning the time of the sixth sun. And this is one of the quotes from one of his books. It's only in the sixth sun that this information can come to light again in order to illuminate the consciousness, both in waking and dreaming states, and thus awaken the dormant abilities which human beings are endowed with. And I want to be real clear. He's very clear with us. He's like, don't get twisted about it. This is our way of understanding it in the Toltec tradition, but it is part of the understanding of mystics of all kinds in all traditions, that we're in a very sacred time, a time of bringing around a different time on the earth. And I really appreciated that. Melanie said, no matter what you call spirit, no matter how you're connected to source and love and God and whatever name you know it by, that this medicine that I'm sharing about is for all humans, not just people of Toltec lineage, and different lineage, different ways, or different language for understanding it, different calendars for understanding it, but it belongs to all of us. So I want to share a little bit about what I've been taught about. And I won't go into the first through fourth sons because we don't have time for that tonight, but I do want to say a little bit, a tiny bit about the time of the fifth son that's ending is known in the Toltec tradition as the knife of justice. And these times are skull and for their different work for humanity and the earth at that time. So this knife of justice, which is the time that we're ending, is very focused on the outer world. And it's very focused on duality and its many forms and separation of the us versus them, the different isms, oppression and victimhood, judgment and shame. It's a lot of focus on the energy of fear, of form, of control, of structure. So many of the things that we talk about in the values of Thrive, of creating a more just and beautiful and loving community. We're seeing a lot of the energy of the fifth son that's dying, that's closing out, that's being composted, comes from that place. And that our ancestors went through that too, because we were in this time for so long. So much of that focus is, what do I have to do in order to have and be? So what do I have to do? How do I control? How do I create what I want? But from a place of fear and separation. And the time of the sixth sun that's beginning, and the influence has already been felt, but it's just increasing, is called the time of the white sun. And it's a very inner focused sun where we're doing our inner work and also stepping into our Quetzalcoatl nature, which, so again, just kind of, I'm using the language of the Toltec, but it's very similar to language in other traditions. So if you think about enlightenment on the Buddhist path, or stepping into our Buddha nature, or stepping into our Christ consciousness, or our unity consciousness, it's about blossoming on our path of destiny and purpose, and being a clear and powerful co-creator with spirit, with the earth, with the cosmos. This time of the sixth sun really requires us to do our loving sacred work of clearing karmic and ancestral patterns, so that we're not creating from that place. And that many of us, whether we remember or not, chose to be alive, and it's time to help clear some of that pattern from the past generations so that the future generations can come in and bring their medicine. So I love that Bethsaida talked about our young ones. They're coming in with a lot of blueprints and designs for new systems for the time we're headed in. And it's a time of balance and integration and being in our inner work. And it's also a time of shifting our story, our pattern, to one of, what do I want to be and what do I want to feel? What is my purpose for humanity? And what is my purpose for the earth right now, bringing up around this time, knowing we all have our unique gifts to share. And also, like, once I'm in my, what do I want to be? Who am I supposed to be in my path and purpose right now? That I'm also curious and open about the form that takes, as opposed to being controlling and has to take this form. And there's a lot of energy of co-creation with each other and co-creation with the earth at this time. And I share also that, thinking about, so what are the themes of this shift that we're in the middle of as a family? And they're so aligned with all of Thrive's values. It's really about listening to our higher self, listening to Mother Earth, listening to our healthy ancestors that want to support us on this path, listening to Creator about what is ours to do in this time. And also to really see love as a superpower, to be in the vibration of love and to create from love. Creativity, imagination is going to take off and skyrocket in ways that we can't even understand right now, particularly in this month of December and with the solstice. It's really important that we work with our muscle of creativity and imagination for bringing in new beautiful systems and projects that are in the vibration of the sixth sun and not in the vibration of the fifth sun. And that's part of the inner work, is because we want to create from the new vibration, not from the old. And the truth is, I was writing so many notes when Melanie was talking and singing, because it was so relevant to this knowledge. I wrote down, remember what we know, remember what you know. There's ancient and beautiful medicine in your blood, in your DNA, in your bones, that is from our ancestors. The well ones, the unwell ones deposited a lot of wisdom in our body, and some of it has laid dormant for a very long time. And it's the healing of the parts that are are traumatized and sad, that can help us to access. If we can't access, we have to access both at the same time. Like we want to connect to that which needs to be healed so that we can access the gifts that our ancestors carry too. And then also the song of like, let your light shine, right? That's what the Quetzalcoatl name means. It's being in our unity consciousness, being in our Christ consciousness, our Buddha consciousness, our Quetzalcoatl consciousness. We all came here with gifts for the collective. And what is our work to do so that we can access that and be in integrity with that in a good way? And then I feel like the other thing around all these different traditions that have this mystical knowledge, this understanding of who we are as divine beings in a human form right now, that the human form, of course, will make mistakes and tinker and learn and grow. And the divine part of us wants to come through and bring some of that love as a superpower here into the earth, into the things that we create together. And access is through the breath and the heart. It's so important. So I feel there's so much alignment around what Melanie shared in terms of the songs and the movement and the tapping. Like, it's all in us. It's all in us. And what lies dormant that wants to be revived right now? And how can we be gentle and tender with those things that are in the way? So one of the things I wanted to talk about today, before we get into just connecting with the elements, one of the gifts of the Toltec path that Sergio has shared with us is that we're all in different sacred contracts with the universe and the earth. And some of those contracts are really beautiful and are about our blossoming in our gifts and being in our love. And some of those contracts perhaps are ones that we don't really like very much. So for example, I have a very strong ancestral tendency in my body for diabetes. And many of my family members have diabetes. And that's an ancestral contract that runs really deeply in my line. And how do I both honor and heal some of that? Where did that come from energetically? And how do I heal that to break that contract with the universe and have a healthy body? So when we're thinking in the cosmic form with the Toltec line, that there's 8 levels or bands of power that create anything in our lives, whether they're good or bad, and even don't even carry the charge so much of good or bad, or they're a lesson for us. And so there's a lot of understanding that if we want to clear things in our path that keep us from our divine nature, that we have to clear at all 8 levels. Because the very last level is actually with Mother Earth, who accepts that contract and agrees to birth that into the physical realm and becomes the glue that holds those 8 levels in place. So it starts at the cosmos, moves all the way down through many universal realms and physical realms in order to become part of our life and part of our being and the ways we move in the world. And I really want to be in my Quetzalcoatl state. And so I'm working on a regular practice to clear those things that keep me from my divine gifts right now in my learning. And the elements have a lot to do with that. And that's both on the physical realm and also at the universal realms. So one of the things we're going to be talking about is the sacred geometries, which you can imagine is like the parallel in the spirit realm to the elements here in the physical realm. And if I'm trying to clear a contract of, say, diabetes in my life, I need to be in right relationship with those sacred geometries and in right relationship with the elements, both within my body and in the outside world, to create a new contract that's in alignment. And so the ways that we talk about that in the Toltec line is that our fire at the spirit level are the dreams that created the thing that's in our life, whether it's diabetes or whether it's being skillful at our gifts that we have. And then the element of air in the spirit realm is about our ancestral old winds or karma. And you can think about that like if we are running in the olden days a cart over and over again across the earth, it's going to create a rut in the earth. And the part of the rut, but the longer that rut has been going, the deeper it is and the harder it is to get out of it. Doesn't mean it's impossible. It just has a lot of energy to carry that cart in a particular direction. And so in the spirit realm, there are ancestral winds and our karma keep us on a certain path. And how do we clear that so that we are not recreating patterns that we know we don't want to? And then thirdly, we have the element of water, and on the spirit realm, that is relationship to emotions that are in alignment with that contract. And whether those are emotions of anger or rage or sadness or depression or victimhood, or as Melanie was talking about, and the emotions that are aligned with joy and thriving and all these other things that we want to call into our lives, our sovereignty, our power, our joy. And then the last is the sacred geometry at the spirit level of the earth. And the earth is known as the giver of life. As a beautiful partner, our Mother Earth is so wonderful and wants to support us on our path and purpose and wants constantly giving us abundance in forms of food and other things, medicines. And she's the form that takes the seed from the spirit realm and plants it on the earth and agrees to be the glue that holds the 8 bands of power from the universal down to the material in place. And so it's really important in that spirit realm to be in right relationship with the elements, not just in a relationship of capitalism control, but actually in deep relationship, to see these elements as our teachers and things we need to be in balance with. And then if you go in the physical realm, like I have fire within me, right? The fire in my blood, the fire of the dreams that I create, the intentions I create. I have the air, the breath in my body, and my relationship to the wind in the world too, and how that can help me to carry away things that don't serve me. I have the emotions that I have in my physical body in this lifetime, and I have the contracts in my cells that have agreed to take on those contracts, whether they're diabetes or whether they're joy. My cells have agreed to take on certain contracts, and some of them are of benefit to me, and some of them are not. So I share all that just with you because it'll help you understand a little bit when we're talking to the elements in a little while. That we're asking them to be in right relationship with us and that we want to be in right relationship with them. And this is just letting you know I will be doing teaching online in the coming year, starting in January, on the time of the sixth sun and some of the medicine and tools to understand that time. So I won't go into that too much. I'm going to stop the share right now so I can come back and see you in person. Yes, so it's really important to understand some things that, again, I'm coming back to a lot of the medicine that Melanie shared. We are beautiful and powerful beings and consciously able to co-create with the universe. And there's so much available to us. This is a time of a lot of grief, a lot of turmoil, a lot of sadness, a lot of change. And it's also an opportunity to deeply partner with some of these other energies. First, to partner with each other, right? Where as humans, can we co-create a new place together? And I'm grateful to Thrive because I think we hold so much space for people to come together and co-create a new world together and to be in alignment in that loving and that thriving. So I'm really grateful for the space you hold. And then there's this whole other set of relationships to the trees, to the birds, to our healthy ancestors, to Mother Earth, for the possibility to co-create a different future together, that we're in this time of multiple and new possibilities with one another and with the earth. And how can we do the work internally so that we can be more in alignment with that beauty, that opportunity to create a new future together. So grateful for all the ways that we get to be in community together and practice different things together and to welcome a new possibility into our lives. Love is really an important part of that, being in our hearts. I think one of the things that I'm keep getting the messages about is that we've been in these different times, or perhaps we were very in our intuition as humanity, and then we moved to a time where we're really in our heads. And now we're in a time of integration and really being in our hearts, allowing our hearts to be the thing that leads us. And deprogramming the things that keep us from doing that. So I'm grateful for all this medicine, and knowing that all of you here are on your own path of loving and being in your medicine. So I want to just thank you all for taking the time to be together today. This is an important time. It's a really important time, and to be in a lot of slowdown and listening. We've been through a really tumultuous year, so much grief, so much loss, so much slowing down, whether that was chosen or not chosen. And to see that as an opportunity to slow down and really listen to what's in your heart, and to let that guide you in these times ahead. So I'm going to ask us to just take a deep breath together, because that was a lot of information at you. And I'd rather just, I feel like there's so much about the breath that can get us back to where we're supposed to be. So I'm going to invite you to just take a few deep breaths together, and to allow yourself to make some noise on your way out with the out breath, breathing in and out. Take another deep breath in and a breath out. Another breath in, another breath out. I'm really grateful to Melanie for reminding us you can always come home to your breath. You can always come home to your body. This time is so important. I feel like it's been a really sacred time for me to slow down. I mentioned that this was kind of a rough week for me, and the shelter in place, and then getting tested, and self-quarantine, and then being in a lot of grief for those I love that have passed. One of the gifts that gave me was the opportunity to really feel my love for those I care about. And it also gave me an opportunity to receive love from people who were concerned about me, a lot of medicine and love and gifts, and people, supporting financially while I couldn't see clients. And the other piece was that it allowed me to be in deep listening with the earth, with what was being asked of me in this time. And so I really want to highlight some things that I think that were important lessons for me this week, before we start our ritual. And one is that our moon circle, I feel like we're an organism now. We've been in moon ceremony with each other for many years now, and there's different ways that different sisters kind of moved around and helped each other this week. And there was flow and beauty in that. Also, as someone who founded that circle and has been a leader in that circle, it was really hard for me not to be in the role of shopping and dropping off flowers, and trusting that others in the sister circle were taking that place this week, and that it's an important part of our shared leadership that flows in a good way. And also to receive. I think one of the things I'm constantly working on is the ancestral pattern of martyrdom and giving, and not allowing myself to receive. So I just felt showered by a lot of support in many different forms from people in my community this past week. And I'm deeply, deeply grateful for that. And I understand that flow and reciprocity is important. Even if it makes me uncomfortable, I have to receive it, because that's part of me being in flow with the universe, and allowing myself to be in my gift means allowing my community to support me when it's needed. So these can be hard lessons sometimes. So I'm really grateful for the ways I was held this week. Really grateful that allowed me to have the energy to be here with you in this time right now. A lot of tenderness in my heart. So I'm just going to take that in for a little breath. So I mentioned that I wanted us to spend a little bit of time connecting with the elements. And if you have things that represent the elements for you, I'm going to invite you just to connect with them one at a time. And so I'm going to pull out what's my fire element right now and hold it with me. And what I'm going to do is lead you through some meditation. So some of this you may have your eyes closed, so you can have your eyes open if that's easier for you. But I'm really going to ask you, regardless of that you're present with the element that's in front of you. Or if you weren't able to work with getting something for this time, that's okay. Just visualize in your mind's eye a representative of the element for you. So I'm going to invite you in this time, as we move into the ritual time, to take a deep breath in and out, and to release any heavy energies that you're feeling at this moment. And to take another deep breath in and out, and feel your connection with the universe, the earth, the cosmos. So see if you can feel Mother Earth supporting you below your feet. Feel the chair supporting you and all the elements that created it. See if you can feel your connection with the divine cosmos, with the sun, the moon, creator, your higher self above you. See if you can imagine an infinity loop that is energy flowing up and down above you and below you. And that its center is at your heart. And see if you can feel behind you the generations who came before you and all their beauty and all their trauma, that they made you possible in this moment, in this time. And to feel in front of you future generations yet unborn, and feel how they are calling us into our elderhood, our ancestorhood, our wisdom, our medicine, so that we can help bring about a time of shift. That they're counting on us to step into our divine nature, our co-creator nature. And they're cheering us from the future forward. And just to see the center of all these different dimensions that are holding you and supporting you at the center of your heart. Allow that energy to flow to you in all directions. Feeling those relationships with the trees, with the earth, birds, the ancestors. With the universal energies, the cosmos that we're a part of. And then to take another deep breath in and out and connect with the energies of today. Today in the Toltec calendar is 9 Osomatli, or monkey. And for us, the monkey energy is very tied to creation energies, to creating and imagination and the arts. So we're calling on that monkey energy, that Osomatli energy, to help us to become conscious co-creators of our own life, conscious creators with the universal energies of being on our Quetzalcoatl path, our Buddha nature, our Christ consciousness, to step into the life that we came here to live, to thrive in our gifts, to thrive in our sharing our gifts in the world, to bring about a time of shift, and to play the small role that we're meant to play in that, alongside so many others who have different roles. So connecting with that energy of creativity. And 9 is also the number of gestation and birthing new worlds. So it's a very auspicious and beautiful day to humbly and respectfully ask for a different relationship with the elements in our sacred geometry, so we can create new contracts in our life. And I'm going to ask you to breathe in and out 9 times with me in a very particular way, so that we can be in the right energies. So I'm going to ask you to breathe 9. I'm going to say 9 in, 9 out. I'm going to ask you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. 9 in, 9 out. 9 in, 9 out. 9 in, 9 out. 9 in, 9 out. 9 in. 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 9 out. Perfect. Now continue just to breathe in and out deeply and to connect with the spirit of fire. And so whatever fire element you have, whether you're holding it or whether it's in front of you, just connect respectfully, lovingly with the energy of that fire. And humbly and respectfully talk to that fire element. And think of one contract you have, whether it's a habit or an ancestral pattern that you wish to release. And see a misshapen triangle or pyramid, either one, 2D or 3D, that represents this old contract, and ask the fire to allow that old triangle or pyramid to burst into flames and go back to the cosmic void, no longer creating that dream in your life at the cosmic level. And then humbly and respectfully ask the fire to create a beautiful, shiny new triangle or pyramid that represents a new dream you want to create. So dream a new dream into the fire. That represents something you want to create, being in your talents, being in your gifts, being in your love, being in your heart. And ask forgiveness for the fire for any ways we've been out of right relationship, out of respectful relationship with fire. And so many fires here ravaging the earth. So we want to give our prayers and our thanks to the fire. We want to make offerings to the fire of the things that no longer serve us, so that we can create new dreams with the universal energies, that we have the power to co-create when we're in right relationship. So breathe your love to the fire. Offer the fire the best energy of your new dreams for yourself, for others, for humanity. And ask for these new dreams, these new fires to take place in the universal realms and also at the earth realm. That we carry the new dream, the new fire for the time of the sixth sun in our bodies, in our spirits, in our dreams. I give thanks to Grandfather Fire. And next we move to the air. If you have an element that represents the air for you, feel free to hold on to it or grab it or have it in front of you. And in this realm, it holds so many old contracts for us, that our ancestral old winds, our ancestral karma, our personal karma. At the sacred geometry level, we envision a sphere or a circle, a misshapen one first. So in the example of diabetes, I imagine a misshapen circle that represents the diabetes in my family. And I ask humbly and respectfully to destroy that circle and to send it back to the cosmos, to the void, to be destroyed. And I breathe my love to the energy of winds. And I ask it to carry me on new winds, to release the suffering of my ancestors that carried these contracts. I send love and compassion to those ancestors who experienced trauma, who were disconnected, who lost their relationship to land, who lost their relationship to ancestors, and thus were lost and traumatized and passed on that trauma in so many ways on the earth and to other beings. I ask for the clearing of that in my body at the sacred geometry level so that I might be free of these patterns, so that my ancestors in the ancestor realm can experience some liberation. And I blow beautiful, loving energies to clear these old patterns, these old karmas. Humbly ask the sacred winds to help me to clear, to take this small first step and to continue to take more steps to clear my ancestral karma, my personal karma, so I might live more free in joy and creativity. And now I humbly ask for the sacred winds, the sacred geometry of the winds, to create a new circle or a new sphere that I take into my heart that represents the new winds I wish to be carried on, to be in my Quetzalcoatl state, my divine nature, my gifts, to be of service with integrity to humanity in this time, to create a new contract with the sacred geometries and with the winds here on earth and my internal winds, to release the heaviness and grief in my lungs, to have healthy lungs in this time, to breathe deeply, to know the knowledge and the wisdom of my breath. And next, if you have a representative of water, take that in your hands or place it in front of you or visualize. Have a small cup of water with amethyst in it to represent healing. And to the sacred geometries of water, which is represented by a crescent moon. I first humbly and respectfully see a misshapen crescent moon, which represents the emotions that are in alignment with contracts that I'm seeking to release. So whatever energies of victimhood or oppression, any emotions related to that, I choose to release. Choose the emotions that you know you wish to release with love and care. Our emotions are meant to teach us good things, but they're not our permanent identities. So whatever unhealthy patterns we might have with our emotions, whether that's numbing of our emotions and not feeling what is in our hearts, or whether that is being controlled by our emotions, feeling powerless in the face of our emotions. We see a misshapen crescent moon that represents those old contracts of emotions out of balance. And we breathe lovingly to release those, to be composted, to go back to the cosmos, to destroy those old contracts of emotions that keep us in old patterns that don't serve us. And we humbly and respectfully say to the sacred water and the sacred geometries of light connected to water, to create a new crescent moon that is glistening and shiny and perfectly formed, that represents healthy relationship to our emotions, that represents our emotions that are in alignment with the contracts we are seeking to create, emotions that are in alignment with being in our Quetzalcoatl nature, being in our joy, our thriving, our gifts, to have the emotions that are in alignment with joy and happiness as we blossom on our path of destiny. And next and last, we connect to the spirit of earth. Take in the sacred medicine bundle that comes from the earth, the medicine it carries. And I see first a misshapen cube or square, which represents my unhealthy relationship to the earth, my disrespect, my lack of gratitude for her abundance. It also represents the earth taking on the agreement for contracts that do not serve me in my path and purpose. So I see that misshapen cube, and I humbly and respectfully ask Mother Earth to allow that to burst into flames and go back to the great void, to delete these contracts that don't serve me, and to know that it is my own relationship to my own body, to Mother Earth, that is out of balance, that I wish to bring back into balance with love and respect. And in that vein, I ask for Mother Earth to create a new square or cube that is perfectly shaped and glistening and beautiful, that represents my right relationship with the element of earth in my cells, in my body, with Mother Earth herself, and with the sacred geometry of earth to hold a new contract of blossoming on my path of destiny. As we complete, we send our best love to these sacred geometries and these elements here on earth. So I want you to breathe with your breath out first the best energy of your new dreams. Breathe out to the elements the best energies of your best thoughts, the best energies of your best emotions, and the energy of your best actions. We humbly ask you, sacred geometries and elements, to help us to be in right relationship, to remember our wisdom in our blood, our bones, our body, and to bring in this time of shift together with love, creativity, imagination, and purpose. I'm going to count to 4, and I'm going to clap my hands, and we'll come back together into the room. 1, 2, 3, 4. O Mateo. And take a deep breath in and out. Love on your body a little bit. And I pass it back with love. Thank you for this opportunity to share.
Ooh. Wow. Thank you so much. I'm going to ask if folks can stay an extra 5 to 10 minutes so that we could do our closing. We're a little behind. And if you're not able to, we are recording and you can see the part of that. But I just want to start out just by deep gratitude to both Melanie DeMore and Brenda Salgado for bringing us prayer, your sacred beingness, and just your deep connection. For me, to breath is what stands out, and bringing us in this room to just greater joy, love, and togetherness, for the healing that we are on this pathway towards with a sense of just, for me, it's about just being who I am with an open heart and love. And you both are profoundly engaged in that. So thank you. I want to thank Kylie and Kele, who's coming up next, and also Julie Saldowski, who's been doing the tech, and then my co-host, Sunshine Michelle. Much gratitude to you, my sister. Just a couple of things. One is that if there's ways that you can stay connected to both Brenda and Melanie, and Julie has posted their websites in the chat, and maybe you can do that again, Julie, so that people, if they didn't catch it the first time. And then Thrive East Bay, there's ways to get involved, and so we'll post the website to Thrive East Bay. There's ways to be a member, and we're also, this is our going into celebrating our 5th year of Thrive, and so we have begun a end of year fundraising campaign that we would love to share with you. And so folks who are members of Thrive East Bay, you will be hearing from us, or if you haven't already heard from us, but emails and other forms of communication will be happening. And if you're not part of our membership of Thrive East Bay, you can definitely go onto the Thrive East Bay website, and there's a donate button there where you can donate. And you know, our community is transitioning into 2021 with the Beloved 2021 campaign. So over the next couple of weeks, we will try to reach our year-end goal of $20,000. And so help us to, you know, launch this as powerfully as we can and to end the year in a way that we can continue to provide these types of spaces and healing opportunities and continue to grow beloved community in what we're building. And if Sunshine, if you have other stuff to add, and then we can actually introduce Kaylee so that we can finish out.
Yeah, I echo Bethsaida's thanks. Thanks, Brenda. Thanks, Melanie. Thanks, Kylie. Thanks, Kelly. Thanks, Julie. Thanks, all y'all. Oh my goodness, I told you it was going to be healing. So just be tender with yourselves and sleep on this, because you know it's going to be working its magic. And so breathe in the magic and be with it. We will be having a winter solstice event on Monday evening, December 21st from 5:30 to 7. So stay tuned for, Kele, can you mute for just a second, darling? Can you mute for just a second? Thank you. If you could check our website and stay tuned for that special event, that will be great. And I think we're going to have perhaps maybe a music something coming up too. So, you know, Thrive East Bay has lots going on. So stay tuned with us. I want to send our brother Joshua and his family some love. Again, thanks, Brenda, for mentioning that. We love you, Joshua. We're lifting you in prayer in the transition of your loved one, your grandpa. And last but not least, we have to close us out, Brother Kele Nitoto, who is the baddest drummer in the Bay Area on the West Coast and maybe even the East Coast in the world. You know, I'm just saying. So his company is Oakland Hand Drums. In a moment, if you've not experienced Brother Kele, you'll understand why. So take it away, Kele.
Sorry for being on the phone with y'all. Just so check it out. See if you can catch this, and then sing along. If I know one thing, I know I can love. If I know one thing, I know I can love. I know I can love. I know I can love. I know I can love, love, love. I know I can love. If I know one thing, I know I can laugh. No, if I know one thing, no, I can laugh. No, I can laugh. No, I can laugh. No, I can laugh, laugh, laugh. I know I can laugh. And try to mute yourself too. I would love to sing with you guys if we was all connected. If I know one thing, I know I can cry. If I know one thing, I know I can cry. I know I can cry. I know I can cry. I know I can cry, cry, cry. I know I can cry. Well, if I know one thing, I know I can heal. If I know one thing, I know I can heal. I know I can heal. I know I can heal. I know I can heal, heal, heal. I know I can heal. Well, if I know one thing, I know I will dance. If I know one thing, I know I can dance. I know I will dance. I know I will dance. I know I will dance, dance. I know I will dance. Well, if I say one thing, I know it be true. If I say one thing, it will be true. It will be true. Will be true. It will be true, true, true. It will be true. Well, if I know one thing, I will be still. If I know one thing, it will be still. I will be still. I will be still. I will listen, listen, listen. I will be still. If I know one thing, I know I can love. And if I know one thing, I know I can love. No, I will love. No, I will love. I know I will love, love, love. I know I will love. I know I will love, love, love. I know I will love. I know we can love, love, love. I know we will love. I know we can love, love, love. I know we can love. We love, love, love. We love, yeah. I know we can love, love, love. I know we can love. I know we can love, love, love. I know we can love. Love, love, love. I know we can love. I know we can love. I know we can love. I shall.
Ashe. And if you want to take yourself off mute as we prepare to say bye, just give all of our folks some love. Love, love.
Thank you,
Love,
Kele. Lots of love.
Thank
Blessings.
you so much.
Love, love, love.
Yay, yay. Y'all take good care then. Besaida, we good?
Good night, everybody. Also,
We good? We good?
good. We're
Thanks
good.
for staying afterwards, everybody.
Yes, thank you.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
you.
Love and
Good night.
For having me. Blessings
Thank
whenever you
you. How do you do it, Besaida? Like this? What's the new?
It's the two little fingers.
It's a
Like
tell
that.
this.
So that's a little heart.
The little heart.
Yeah. And then you could do this. Love y'all.
Thanks for the music, Julie. That's great.
Great job, everyone. What a wonderful way to spend a Sunday. Great music. Thanks for sharing, everybody.
Thank you, everyone, for your medicine.
Thanks, Sister.
I'm grateful. Night.
Sunshine Michelle, I believe I was able to copy everything in the chat and I can send it to you in an email. So you
Okay,
have all that saved.
thank you. I tried to do it too, but just in case, there was so much going on. Just in case there was some nugget we weren't supposed to miss. What a great event. Hi, Michelle.
Thank you so much to each one of you for all your support tonight. Felt really held and loved. Thank you.
Oh, it was so beautiful.
Yes, and thank you for coming with us, even though it's been a hard week. I mean, I was on the floor yesterday just thinking about all the loss. So, I mean, we're here with you and it just feels so good to be held. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. It's an honor to be with you tonight. I'm gonna go get a little dinner in my belly now. Mwah.
Sounds good, actually.
Brenda.
All right, everyone, I'm going to sign us all off. Good night.